screen share. Perfect. So we're going to click on let's go live. And let's see if I can see myself. Hi, guys. I think we're working fine. So let me just move to the biggest screen, to the other screen. So let's see. How are you? So I think we're okay. I'm going to wait until, like I always say, Heather or Leah show up today, and you're going to see the mess that's behind me. Yeah, it's cleaning day. We're going to clean for Easter. But we're coming from the comfort of my living room today because it's a nice and clear day. Well, actually cloudy here in Toronto, which means it's perfect light for a live. So how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm making sure that everybody's just like, hi, Liz. So I can see some comments. Hi, Daisy. I'm going to wait until Heather comes, and then we're going to flip the camera so I show you what I'm creating. And I forgot my scrunchie, so that means that I will have to disappear for 2 seconds. But hi, you guys are see from Nova Scotia. I'm here in Toronto, Canada. So hi, I see people from Texas, Marvin. I'm not so sure where you're from. I know that you're in the States, if I'm not mistaken. Stephanie, there's quite a few from the States. Like I said, welcome. If it's your first time on a live, I'm Nathalie. I'm part of the video team for PinkFresh Studio, and I do this every so often. Heather is usually the one that helps behind the scenes, but how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing okay. I mean, it's beginning to look a lot like spring here in Canada. I'm in Toronto. And the state that we're in is actually, I think it rained a little bit in the morning. So that means it's going to be muddier and dirtier than what it looks like. You know how spring first looks like yuck before it looks nice. So we're in the yuck stage right now. And all the snow has melted, and we had quite a bit of snow this year here in Toronto. Usually we don't have that much, but this year we had quite a bit. And after everything has melted, if you live in the northern part of the US, or any country that has the 4 seasons really well marked, then you know that the stage between winter and real spring, even though when spring is yuck, because everything is brown and muddy. And if you have a dog, you feel it even worse, which what we do, because it comes with really brown paws and then all over the apartment, which is not a pretty thing. So I see, hi Heather, I think she's on here. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more, and then we're going to flip the camera and we're going to start working. I'm from Italy, Elisabetta, yeah? So I hope you guys are okay. Remember, if you share or you comment on today's live, at the end of the live, Heather will pick a winner for a gift certificate to the shop, and there's quite a bit to buy. Also remember that if you go in the gift certificate, there is a promotion going on for this weekend for a few of the Slimline products on sale for the weekend, so you can use it on that. So let me see, what else do I have to talk to you before I flip the camera and we'll start working. So today we're going to actually work on a project that combines Happy Heart with Life Right Now, which are the 2 newest scrapbooking collections from PinkFresh Studio. And I thought it was a nice combination. Oh, it's Leah. See, Leah is on right now. So Heather will come after. Hi, Leah. So, like I said, we're going to combine them in a fun way. We're going to make it into a rainbow. So rainbows are always nice and cool. And I thought that would be perfect for today, especially because, like I said, it's really cloudy here. And if you're a photographer or enjoy photography or video, you know that this is the perfect light because it's all diffused. So I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to go to my table because it's just around the corner from where I'm sitting, and then we're going to get started. So give me 1 second, because remember, technology and I sometimes are not best friends. So let me just find me on the Zoom. Okay, here we are. And I'm going to flip the camera so you can see what's on my table. There we go. So you're going to see that I have a few things on my table, and just rotate. You guys will laugh if you see how I have set up my computer today. I couldn't find a platform that was big enough to raise my what would you call it, the laptop, so you can see me. Remember, I work from a table, so I actually just got a pair of new boots and I put them underneath to raise the laptop. So I think I can see you guys. I am glad that you guys can hear me. If not, we are just checking it out. I'm trying to read the comments as we go. I see Lori. Hi, Lori. I see a few friends of mine, Robin, Pam, Lori. So I'm going to keep just talking to you and showing you what we're going to do. So like I said today, and just in case I brought extra tape because you never know. With my projects, you never know. So what we're going to work today on is like a fun layout. And this is works perfect for if you have a baby, if you have many, many things. Okay, so I pulled out 2 pictures of my daughter who loves to nap. Like, okay, she works long hours too and like really early sometimes. So, you know, everything, I have the 2 pictures and I just read the comment from Leah. Everything that I'm using is already with links in the comment section of this live. So you can easily just scroll down and find everything. The only thing that we might go through like a little bit more detail is the color of inks that we're going to use. So let me talk to you a little bit of how I went about it. So I thought, like I said, you know, rainy day, like nap queen here. So I pulled a few things. I pulled, first of all, the cloud builder. This is the slimline stencil. So that already tells you we're going to build a sky, because I thought, you know, rainbow and sky, the perfect combination for like a dreamy layout. So I'm going to set this aside. Let's just keep a little bit of space clean. And then I spent quite a bit of time creating my rainbow. So I've worked one already, you know, before the camera. I'll tell you that this is a little bit, it's not complicated. It was time consuming the way I did it. So I had to do it ahead of time, but there's an easy way to go about it. And why I wanted to actually did it ahead of time is because I used papers from both the collections to create my rainbow. I wanted to have all the colors of the rainbow that were available in the paper lines. There is not a real purple, or actually there is purple, but not enough for me to create the color. So instead, I am actually going to make the purple, and also the orange, it wasn't like deep enough, so I'm gonna make that. So I cut 6 of this, okay? So I'm gonna show you already. Let me just move stuff so we can get started on this. So I use all the pattern paper and I have it here. And this took a while. So I cut 6 of them. I glued 3, stacked them together and glued them. So I'm going to show you. I already have 2 here. Now, the only thing about this is my idea is to have it, I want to have a rainbow like this on the one side of the layout. And I want to have, you can have it like that. So I'm going to have to do the B side of it. And it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I know that I wish, if you know how to cut the negative part of this, tell me how you do it. I tried. If you guys see my, I'm going to show you what it looked like, because honestly, I have my phone here and I took a picture because I was like, you guys have no idea how many times I tried to cut the negative piece. And if you, or I don't know if you can see it, because it's like, you know, my screen might be a little bit too, I took a picture. It was late at night. First of all, it's like 1 a.m. But it was mostly because I could not get it to cut the negative part. I thought I had an idea of how to do it, but it wasn't working and it was upsetting me. And I was just like, oh, you know, but like I said, I don't know if you can see it, but I hope you can. I don't, the mess of the paper, that's like all the mess that I have from cutting the paper. So like I said, there's an easy way and a little bit harder way to do it, okay? So like I said, if you know how to cut the negative part of this, like, so that my rainbow has like, you know how you, when you cut, it has like this side that's really shiny, because that's the one that is against the plate. And then you have the other side, it's a little bit rougher. But if you know how to do this with this side, like so that the bottom part looks like nice and shiny, then I would love to know how to do it. So instead, we're gonna have to do the cheat way and then just flip the like the die cut. So like I said, I cut 6 of them. And you're going to see that I actually saved some of the B pieces on the back because you never know, they come in handy. So all I'm going to do is I stack them together. I want to create a little bit of dimension, give it the look. A little bit of shadow looks really pretty on your cut file, on your paper. One thing. And the second thing is I'm just going to use my thin, my little thin glue here. It's you want to give it a little bit of, I'm going to say heft, but you want to make it sturdier because once it's a really thin cut, the lines of the rainbows, like the arch of the rainbows. So by stacking the little die cuts together, you make them feel more like chipboard, not as thick, a little bit thinner, and it just makes it more no, it's a bad word, makes it sturdier, sorry, and it makes it more like easy to manage too. Okay, you're gonna see why in a little bit. You see how this one, it just flips, like, you know, kind of goes like that. The more you stack them, it becomes like, I'm gonna say rigid. So it's easier to handle, especially because we are gonna have to, like I said, the idea is there, but until we don't put it in place, we're gonna move in and shift it around. So you wanna make sure that you're cut out, you know, it's nice and I can sustain the movement. So I'm just going to stack it. And this is very simple to stack, by the way. So just gonna make sure that I press on the lines here, and you're gonna see the difference. So just by adding the 3 die cuts, it makes it a little bit brand new. You know what? I did use the brand new cut plate to do that. You know, I actually have 2 sets of plates, and I actually had cutting plates that were brand new, and I used them for that. So I wouldn't have the, you know, the rough edge on the other side. But even like that, like I think I had used this die for a light before, but it created more of like a rotating, like a circle. So it worked that way. But here, because I want to use, I thought about creating a rainbow, like literally, like it didn't match. So the only way to create the rainbow would be like that. But I don't want to go with a full rainbow that way. I want to, you know, add some stuff in between. So like I said, you're going to have to use the B side of it. Okay, so that was the first part. So now I have my cutouts here ready. Now to cut the paper, you can go many different ways. And one is you can cut tons of paper to create this. Now I found it, and trust me, I went through a lot of paper. You saw my garbage bin, it was worse. That's just like the end of it. Okay, so what I did to cut my pieces here, and you're gonna see this is from Life Right Now, this is from Happy Heart, Happy Heart, Happy Heart, Life Right Now, white cardstock, Happy Heart, Life Right Now, Happy Heart, and white cardstock, because I couldn't find those colors. So I combined, because I've been creating a few projects throughout the past few weeks and months, I've been collecting scraps. So what I did is I literally used one, I cut an extra one to use as a guide as to where I could place my paper so that I didn't waste everything else, and I just cut that line. So that took some time, okay? Now that's one way to go about it. I'm not gonna show you because like I said, it took time. Now, the other way that you can build a rainbow, and is what we're gonna do right now, is you can go ahead and cut it all out of white cardstock. Let me just get a mat for the bottom. Give me one second. I forgot to have this in. So, and then cut it all of white cardstock, and then just pull out the pieces and use your inks and an ink blending brush to add the color. Okay, so another thing you're gonna see here is that I'm holding the things, everything with washi tape in order, because, and here too, I'm keeping them in order. Once I glue them on my layout, then I make sure that I glue them on purpose, like not on purpose, but I glue them to the paper. For now, this is just keeping it together. So I need to make this, the color that I couldn't, like that I'm missing to transition from blue to this like fuchsia, it's a purple. So we're gonna start with the purple, and you're gonna see that this is the opposite. So if I started with yellow, I finish with yellow on the other side. So we're gonna try that. So let me just move the color. So I need, this has to be purple on this one too. Okay, and washi tape was my friend yesterday. When I was gluing, there was a lot of washi tape destroyed in the making of this rainbow. And like I said, it's a very fun idea. It did take some time to put together. So I'm going to use for this soft lilac, and I just want to create a little bit of the bluish tone of purple. Let me grab my scrunchie. Okay, here goes in a ponytail, and it's out of my face, and we can work with it. So I'm going to start with soft lilac. Let me pull my brush here. And I just want a soft tone, and I have my color here so that it helps me to guide to the right color. So I'm just going to, nothing like, you know, nothing major. I just want to color this in. So this is a way that you cannot create your rainbow, like, you know, if you don't have the paper or you don't want to go through cutting all the paper, just cut your, use the negative pieces from one of your rainbows or the rainbow die cut. Like I said, this is called the rainbow. I'll tell you exactly the name. This is the color block rainbow. And even at the back, if you're going to see it, it actually gives you, move all the pieces. It gives you a guide of what the color structure should be, like what is the sequence of color. So it makes it super easy. So I'm just going to create my purple, and I'm going with really soft tones because the collection has a lot of vibrant colors, but they're more on the pastel side. So soft lilac is going to be the perfect color to tie those two together. If not, once we put it in, we're going to see if we need to add a little bit of blue to this. But let's go with both. So tell me, I'm going to read the comments. How you guys been? I hope you guys have been okay. Like, had a good 2 weeks. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. So hope you guys are like, enjoying wherever part of the world you're in, you're enjoying your days. You haven't, whatever you call it, you're finding joy in the little things. Sometimes lately there's a lot of news that are not so joyful, but, we need to find joy in the little things. So, whatever that is, whatever that makes you happy, keep going. If that's crafting, then you know what? Then you're in the right place. We'll give you some ideas to work on it. So let's see if that's a good transition color. If not, we need to add a little bit. I think we need to add a little bit of blue because it looks a lot like the one next to it. So I am going to go. I have all my inks here on the side. Because like I was telling Heather when I was putting this together, I said, Heather, I'm not so sure about the colors of inks yet because I had a feeling already that this might happen. I'm going to add a little bit of slumber. Let me get my blue here. Just a little bit, just to deepen it up, make it a little bit more into the purple. And I'm going to go softly with slumber. I just want to deepen some of the tones just to make it more into a purple tone. So you're going to see that I'm lightly going on a circular motion on top of the paper. That's just, and it doesn't have to be precise. I just wanted to have, and okay, that's the perfect tone. Yeah, it might not match the one in the paper, but it matches my sequence here. So that's all I'm worried about. So again, we're going to add a little bit onto this one. That's just going to create the transitional color that I'm looking for. Okay. And I'm not going for perfection. I'm not going to say that I'm going to hide this because I'm not going to hide it. I'm going to try not to hide the rainbow, but it is going to be nested in between. We're going to make clouds. We're going to build the sky, and we're going to build pictures, and we're going to add pictures, obviously, and embellishments. So that's what I said. You can go two ways. You can go ahead and create your colors, or you can cut it out of pattern paper. I like that. So now the other color that I couldn't find, it was like the orange. If you see the Happy Heart collection, it has like an orange tone, and I couldn't find it anywhere on the papers, like that it will make a difference between this paper. And if you want me to tell you all the papers, like I said, I went through all the papers, just pulling for, I put the two collections in front of me. I found them out, and I was like, okay, I need yellow. This yellow is from Life Right Now. These two are from Happy Heart. This one too is from the Happy Hearts, from the 2x2 cut apart. This is from Life Right Now. This is from Happy Heart, Life Right Now, Happy Heart. So all I did, like seriously, I found the papers, whatever pieces I had on my table, and then I just was like, okay, I built my rainbow, and then I started die cutting. That was the best way to go about it. So we're gonna build that orange, and for that, again, you're gonna hear me roughly, no roughly, going through all my inks, and it's because I have them here on the deck, on my table actually, because I knew that I was going to, oh, and where am I missing that one? See, the one that I need, there we go. We're gonna go with Peach Fuzz, because I think that's the one that is gonna throw us towards the orange that I'm looking for. So let me get my orange brush here, okay. Again, we're gonna start with a little bit of Peach Fuzz, and then we might add some apricot just to warm it up a little bit more. And super easy. Again, you can do that and build your own rainbow. You can make it one, like, you don't have to necessarily create a rainbow. You can make it, whatever color palette you want to use. And this will work great for a card too. You just, don't do the two pieces like I'm going to do. We just use one. But I think it will work great regardless of the format that you use for, like, documenting or card making or paper crafting. I think this is a great idea. And rainbows are always, rainbows are always a good thing. Whichever way you can take them, rainbows are always, the hope of better things. So There we go. I think I'm gonna need to add a little bit of apricot. We're gonna see in a bit. But let me color the little one since I have this one out here too. So like I said, you can easily create your own colors. Just use your ink, use the negative pieces of your die cuts. Don't throw them, keep them if you want to. Or you can go ahead and cut pattern paper, whatever it's easier for you. And so let's see if that gives me the orange. I might need to add a little bit of red to this. So I'm just playing with my colors. See, because I have a little bit of that peach on me. So I'm gonna go with coral reef, I think that's the color. Yeah, coral reef. Let me get my coral reef brush, which is right here. Just need to add a tiny little bit to kind of warm it up a bit. Okay, so this gives me the perfect orange. You're gonna see the transition here. That gives me the perfect orange. So that means I gotta add a little bit more here onto this one, just to have it all ready to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna add the color. It doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, this is just the inside of your rainbow. So I'm just deepening the color right now. There we go. And that should give me the perfect orange. There we go. I'm holding this with a spray and some washi tape because I'm hoping they don't go flying and then I won't be able to find it. So put our inks aside for now. We're gonna need them again to build our background. So we have this is gonna go like that. So we have our two rainbows. Let's put this aside for now. And let's have an idea how we're gonna build this layer. So I'm using actually Vicky Boutin foundation paper for the background of my page. Really heavy cardstock. We're not gonna add mix like a lot of water. We're not, but I just have it handy. It's one of the papers that I use the most. You can use white cardstock, whatever you have at hand will work. Just make sure that it's smooth. It's just, I think that ink blending works better when it's a smooth surface compared to like a textured cardstock. So that's the only thing. I'm just gonna cut the branding strip. Something that I didn't do before. And actually, right before we went live, I was like, oh, again, like I always forget something. It was the white cardstock. I was like, oh, but thank God I had it on my little trays on the side because I bought myself one of those cards, those project cards that you actually have trays. So I have a tray for each project that I have each day during the week. So I had my PinkFresh studio tray with everything that I need. So I had the cardstock right there. Okay, so now let's build the idea so we know where we're going to put the stuff. Rainbow. We're not going to put it side by side. We could. Okay. See, it's my idea. We could put it side by side. I don't want to because I think it just makes it really. Ugh. So we're going to add a little bit. Again, you guys know my words, a little bit of movement. So we're going to make this one a little bit higher. So I'm going to say around, let's use the grid, around an inch, maybe an inch and a half from the top of the page. And this one around maybe 3 inches from the bottom. So it's going to stay within the middle of the page, but it is going to just add more interest. Again, my pictures are going to go right there, right on the center. Okay, so you have an idea. We are going to build the scene on the background here. We're going to add some clouds and, so you have the idea now how is everything going to sit. So now let's start building the background. Okay, so this one here is the Cloud Builder Slim Stencil. I don't know if this is one of the ones on sale this week, but like I said, go check out the website. There are some promotions on some of the stencils and they're really handy and they're one of the easiest things to use and the most useful, I think. So let me just use the pencil. So I have an idea where everything is going to sit. I'm just going to mark it here lightly. Remember, I do a little bit of dots here, just so I have an idea where everything sits. And so I'm gonna say right here. I'm gonna say right here, right here. Okay, so let's move everything to the side. And you're gonna see that you only see dots on the paper, and that's okay. That's the way I wanna go about it. Now, here's where I had the biggest debate last night. I was thinking maybe I build a little bit of this, but then I, stayed away. Do I want to make my entire sky blue or do I want to make it different colors? question of the day. And that's when I was adding this, like, the stuff to the list for you guys to have the links of everything that I'm using. I told Heather, I am not going to add the exact name of the inks because I'm not so sure. So we're going to mix a little bit of the colors that I have here. Let's start with some sky blue. I don't want to add more rainbow to the background just because it's going to take away from the rainbow already that I have on that I'm building with the die cut. So just be mindful of that. You want to, rainbows are beautiful, but you don't want to kill it. You don't want to create overkill. So we're going to start with a little bit of sky blue for this. Okay. Like I said, you want to make sure that everything, the whole purpose of scrapbook layout is that your pictures pop. Think of it as in layers. So I'm picking some of the color. Let me just get my little, where is it? My friend Brianne creates this. If you don't know, it's called the ink stand, I think it's called. So it just makes it easier for me to not have the ink pad flying around. So like I was saying, going back to the layout. When you think of a layout and any project, even with your cars, you always want, you want to have a focal point that's going to pop from your page first. And if it's scrapbooking, then you want the picture to be that. So think about it layers. Then you want, in my case, I want the photos, the rainbows and the clouds, and then the sky. So I have to, that's one of the reasons why I love working with black and white pictures, because they just pop from all the color that I add on the background. So I'm just taking my brush, this is a sky blue, and I'm going to go in a circular motion starting from the center of the cloud out. Okay. This stencil is beautiful. And you can see that I've used it before, used it many times. Okay, so just going to do a little bit of blue here. We're going to start with some blue. We can always add color. Remember, start small because you can always add, but you cannot take away. So keep that in mind. And you're going to see that I'm just kind of dragging the ink outside. So it kind of diffuses. It gets darker as it gets closer to the edge of the stencil. That is going to mark your clouds. So you're going to see. Okay. So it's about to rain here in Toronto. See how it got dark? And I have the lights going, and it's because the clouds are moving. I think it's about to rain. So I'm gonna have to, if you see me yell, it's because I'm gonna call my son to give me more, to give me more light. So let's see, we're gonna switch into another color. It does need some color on the background. Let's move this down here first. Let's go with a little bit of blue down here. Okay, so we're gonna do it this way. This is where I mark the edge of the bottom picture. So again, this probably is gonna take you, what is gonna take you the longest if you wanna recreate this, it's gonna be creating the rainbows. This is not gonna take you a while. The build of this layout is quite easy. It's getting to it. Like in my case, like I said, took me a while to create the rainbows. Okay, so I don't want to go all the way either. And if you see my phone, somebody's texting me right now, or one of you guys is commenting, and I forgot to turn off the volume. So let me just do that so it doesn't bug you either. So I'm gonna hope that there's no, what do you call it? Lightning, because then the power might go off. I don't want, us to lose power. So let me just kill the volume here. Okay. I do think that I need to add more color. It's not going to be that. We're going to use different, we are going to add more clouds. It's just, I'm thinking if we want to deepen the color. So I want to go with something like, I don't know if you guys are familiar or how you guys call it. Go with Slimber. I like it. Kind of a purplish tone. Let's get the brush for that. So rainbow skies, it's not, we call them bubble gum skies, like when they're pink and yellow and those beautiful tones. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that. So I'm gonna pick up something right there. It's gonna be a little bit deeper. So remember that part of this, remember pictures are gonna sit here, so you don't have to create the entire page filled up with clouds, just be mindful of where everything is going to sit, so you know where things are going to show. So always, that's what I always mark, where everything is going to sit with a pencil, so it gives you an idea where, you know, where things are going to sit, so I don't have to fill my entire page with clouds and stuff like that. So I'm going to move it a little bit here because I don't like that there. I'm just going to soften it a bit more here. It's going to add a second impression. So okay, so you see how the clouds are kind of building on top of each other? So we're gonna do the same here. We're gonna flip it to this side. I like these clouds a little bit better. Again, move this here. Okay, so let's see. Did you guys check all the new release for the washi tapes? Weren't they beautiful? It's a beautiful washi tapes. I'm just trying to read comments, but like I said, it's sometimes a little bit hard for me to look up because I am, you know, crafting and looking down. So every so often when I peek up, I see the comments, and sometimes it's hard to follow the thread. So don't think that I'm ignoring you. It's just a little bit harder for me to, you know, follow a conversation and craft at the same time. So we're gonna slowly build it. I'm gonna move it down a little bit more here. Just soften it a little bit more. Just gonna create my sky. Let's see what it's looking like. Now I'm gonna flip it here. We're gonna go into something. Get another brush. Let's go into a little bit of lilac. Right now my sky is gray, so I think you can see it also in the light that's coming through the window. And I'm not cleaning my stencil that much. I'm gonna just continue working there. So and I just want like a soft tones on the background. And I think I have plenty. I might add a little bit of pink and a little bit of like yellow just to remind me of the sun. So I gotta just be mindful of where I add everything. But like somebody said, you know, cloud stencils are magical. Yeah, because it lets you build, you know, clouds in an easy way. So I need to add a little bit more here. Let's move this here. And let's see where we need it. I see a dot there, so maybe around here. Remember, rainbow is going to be here. Rainbow is going to sit here. We may need to add more stuff up here and a little bit down here. Not much more. So, you know, just in case, I don't know if you guys mark where everything is going to sit. You know, whenever you're creating a project, I didn't used to do it. And then I realized that sometimes I just was guesstimating how much I needed on the background, and I was making a mess out of stuff. So having a little pencil handy will help me with that situation, and just marks, gives me a better idea where everything's going to sit. So I'm just kind of slightly stretching whatever's left over of the purple tone lilac on my brush. Okay, so let's add a little. I don't want to make, like I said, I don't want to go through a full rainbow, but I do want to add a soft, like again, I forget, bubble gum sky. Okay, let's go with a little bit of a less slipper. Okay, so let's see what we need done. We need it over here. So I'm not cleaning my stencil in between so that I can have that transition of colors. Remember, whatever ink you have deposited at the edge of the stencil, the brush is going to pick it up and mix it with whatever color of ink you're coming in. So, but if you want to be like, you know, very careful, you don't want the colors to mix, then go ahead and clean your stencil in between. Just see. Yeah, if you guys like, you know, picked up the stencils, remember that Leah and Heather had a class about all about how to use, not to use, but some ideas on with the washi tape. What do I say, stencils? The washi tape, sorry. You know, so check it out. You know, how you stretch them, what you can do with them. Remember, if you're not a washi tape person, they also come with stamps and dies and stencils that, you know, can help you create your own color combinations, your own looks for your projects. So again, once again, magical products. Okay. Oh, we're loving that. Okay, we're gonna move some of that pink just a little bit down here. I have to go with a little bit. I don't know why, maybe because I use a lot of ballet slipper. It's really dry. So let's give it a little bit of pink here. And I think that's pretty much, like I said, I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow just because you need a sun somewhere there, like, you know, those rays of that mix with the pink and give you that kind of yellowish tones. I'm gonna add them here. So I'm just going to flip this over here. And super simple. I think my sky is pretty much done. I like that. I'm enjoying that. So let's give it a little bit of yellow and then we call my background done. So I'm going to put the colors that I use here and then I'll update them in the website so you guys know exactly what colors I use. I'm just putting them to the side. And here, it does need a little bit of yellow. I'm going to go with Lemon Whip because I want to go soft with it. Okay, so now is where you have to be careful of where you place your clouds. You do not want to put them on top of the blue because you're going to make green. So most likely it's going to have to go close to where you had the pink. So I'm doing that right now. So let's see right here. And that's going to create that kind of that orangey tone that you see sometimes in the mornings. And very lightly. You don't want like, you know, a lot of it. So there we go. And then we're going to add a little bit of orange down here. Let's move it to this area. Here. Let's go on top of that a little bit. Just shift it a bit. Okay. There we go. Remember, I'm trying to stay away from where I have the blue because then blue and yellow are going to make green, or the purple because it's going to look like brown. But that looks better. I'm just going to move it down a bit here. Just to give me the impression of a white fluffy cloud here. But that's wrong. Yep, that looks better. I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow over here. And we're going to call it a day before Natalie just fills the page. There we go. So we have our background. I'll clean this up with alcohol after, but how is that? So I'm just going to lightly move it and have the yellow here in my hand. I'm just going to soften it a bit more. Don't forget that I have things going down here. So if you see like the splotch of yellow, it's okay. I'm just trying to soften the yellow spot there. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same down here. Just gonna kind of move it a bit, but I have my sky. Okay, happy with that. I actually very happy with that. Let's move the inks to the side. We have our background. Let's move my little thing here. I am actually going to clean my stencil because I want to use this as a template to create my cloud. Let me just, some paper towel. You can use some alcohol. Actually, that's what I'm going to use. Let me use, you know, during the pandemic, you know, hand sanitizer became the coolest thing. And I found this one that actually comes in a spray. It's great because it's like 90% alcohol. So super easy to clean that. And just spraying a little bit, cleaning with a micro, what do you call this? Some mic, I don't know, but it's really fluffy. I don't even know what the name is. It's like a cloth, I don't know, it collects, but it's really good for this. It's really fluffy, so it picks up all the ink. It helps me, like, you know, clean up my stamps nicely. I don't know what it's called. Sorry, guys, I saw it at the dollar store. And I picked up a few of this. Okay, so we're going to build cloud. So before we build the cloud, I'm just trying to clean up so we know exactly how everything can sit. Okay, let's set up our ideas. Looking at time, we're doing perfect. Remember, that's what we marked. First, it's going to sit right there, one of the rainbows. The second rainbow, which we haven't glued in place yet, yeah, it's like a microfiber towel. I don't know. Yeah, it's, let me see if there's no name on it. They came like 3 in a little pack, like, you know, there was staple at the top, and you're gonna see that I clean a lot of things. Like when I work late at night, this is like my best friend. You know, keeps me company while I'm cleaning up stuff like that. So my other rainbow, remember, this is not glued. I'm just, you know, for the sake of the project right now, it's gonna sit right here. Let's see the clouds. Now move it down a little bit more. Might move this one a tiny little bit more there. This might go a little bit higher. And just making sure that everything looks nice and steady. Pictures, I might need to move this a little bit more right there. Remember, I said this one is around 1.5. This one is around 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5. So that makes sense. So my kids, that's my daughter with the dog. That's how they sleep. That's my daughter. And she's not wearing pajamas. She's wearing regular clothes because the kid can sit in the couch and fall asleep in a heartbeat. Okay, so kind of loving how it's sitting there. I like the background. I think that I might actually add a little bit of extra yellow down here. You need something down here. So let's make the executive decision before we put, like, you know, and very softly. And I might stretch a little bit of the blue at the top. So that's what I said. I guess so. Let's go a little bit softly. And I clean my stencil again. No big deal. Okay, but I'm just trying to size where the clouds are going to go. A little bit of yellow there. Soften it, soften it, soften it. Soften this. Okay, that's it. Just like soft. And then, like I said, a little bit of green blue at the top. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And that's pretty much the way I say you will work your background. Once you put stuff, then you see where everything is missing, and then you add more. I'm going to go again with sky blue because I have that at the top there with my sky blue brush here. Okay, so let's see. Just a little bit more, not too much. Just so that, you know, you actually see the clouds and they're not hidden behind the rainbow. So that's all I'm doing. Okay. Just softly stretching it. There we go. That's all you're gonna need. Okay, perfect. Brushes away. Once again, we clean up. Yeah. I might actually go ahead and glue my rainbows so I know where they sit. We're gonna do that right now, but let's clean this up because, like I said, we are gonna need it. I just think that because we have the formation of the clouds following the stencil, this is gonna help us to build our clouds too. Now we're gonna cut them out of pattern paper. I have some white cardstock here too, just in case. But I'm thinking that I'm gonna use some of the papers in the collection because there was one that had like this white with little green lines. I thought it was perfect for this. But for now, let's just clean this up. Let's glue our rainbows. Yeah, pictures go out of the way. Again, let's start with this one that I already have here. Like I said, around 3 inches. So 1.5 inch. This is gonna glue straight onto the cardstock. Yeah. What a good trick. Hand sanitizer, that's what I'm using. I'm reading. My finger doesn't move the ink. Yeah. Hand sanitizer hand. I have you know what you should guys get, and I have it. Let me pull it out. It's this. Okay. This thing here is like a pump. It's when you go get your nails done and they have the acetone. This one is what they use to you know, for the injections. And especially if you're stamping like one after the other one, I have it on top of my table. I just press on it, make sure that I doesn't go here. And just I press on it. So it comes on your fingers and you just clean it up like that. Okay. But that's when I have time and I'm not going there. See, and I'm adding stuff to my table. Okay, so back to the lay. I just quickly like glanced up and saw that comment and I was like, you know what? I have it handy. Because I was working with inks last night and I was like, I don't want to. And even like that, even though I, you know, have that little trick, my pages usually have smudges. So just, you know, those things that happen when you work. So all I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead, just because I know where the rainbows are going to sit, might as well glue them in place so I don't have to be moving pieces here and there. So are we guys doing okay? Am I, like, you know, if you need any comments or anything that I need to answer, say them right now that I'm looking at the camera. I'm reading your comments while I'm putting the glue. Okay. So this is going to sit, like I said, around 1.5 inches or so from the top, right at the right edge. I think you see it on the left, I'm not so sure. Okay, it's gonna sit right there. Let's glue the pieces in place. So you're gonna see. It's gonna add glue to this because the pieces are gonna sit flush against the cardstock. So, okay, let's go. Okay, here's a little thing here. Those pump bottles for my, yeah. If you have those pump things that, they cost nothing. Well, I don't know, they cost like, I think like $2 across the street. Like, I say across the street because I have a supermarket across the street that is like huge. So I have like a pharmacy and clothing, like it's like a superstore. So I can find it easily there. And then if I walk like a couple more blocks, like maybe one more block, then I have a dollar store and also has it. But and then next door, like we were talking before, we live in an apartment, obviously. Next door to us, there's like a little unit full of like those little stores, like a convenience store and stuff like that. They have like a nail salon, and whenever we go get our nails done, which is, if you see my fingers, never, because nail polish disappears on my nails within an hour of getting the nails done. They also have it with acetone. That's why I saw it the first time. And then when I went to get my daughter's needles, then they used that too. And I was like, oh, smart. And then, I brought it home. So I'm just gluing my pieces straight onto the cardstock here. Pushing it in between the grooves of the rainbow. So you might need to use your nails or something to just push it in. Especially on this one, because this is the B side of the die cut. I don't know, there's like a little texture. Like I said, even though I used a brand new plate for it, because I knew that I couldn't get the negative piece. So I need to push it in a little bit more. Just, see the. Okay, so my rainbow is building up. Super fun, yeah? Okay, so let's see, I'm reading comment. Yeah, you know what? I would tap it on my silicone mat, but then knowing me, I'll probably put something on top of it and it'll be glued to it. It's happened to me before. I saw that comment. Good comment, trust me. There we go. One rainbow. Washi tape, like I said, washi tape was my friend yesterday because that was keeping everything in place. Now this one is going to be the one that's going to be a lot of fun to put in place. So let's see. I might get lucky. Wait. So let's go at it. Nope. And I'm not going to get lucky in this one. So, but at least it kept my pieces in place while I was working on it. So I'm just adding some glue to the back of my rainbow and all the pieces here, just to put it straight onto my page. And like I said, might as well put it in place so we know where everything is going to sit and we don't keep moving it. Okay, so lightly pull this washi tape. And I was using, what do you call it? Scrap, the mint tape. And I was loving it. And then I realized that I kept using it. My roll, I'm almost done my roll of pink tape, mint tape, not pink tape. So again, I'm going to start gluing this again. See, pieces are falling down. Around 3 inches, let's say 3.5 or so, flush against the paper. I'm going to cheat a bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is flush. And then I might have to maneuver this a little bit. So I have one piece with glue here. The little orange piece that came off, so might as well glue it. I'm gonna have to use a little bit, like maybe a spatula to lift this up. Give me 1 second. I have it right here. I want to make sure that it is secure. See, I'm just gonna put a little edge here and press it there. I might have to come and secure this after the live. Did I show my head on the camera? Just so we don't waste time on this, because this is gonna require some tape here. Okay, not taping, like some gluing, so it goes flush. But for now, it's gonna hold in place, which is the main thing. I might just have to go and secure more of this to make sure it doesn't move. Okay, I think I have here. It's just missed a little bit of it. There we go. See how it left? Okay, so while we work on the clouds, we're gonna move this to the side. We're gonna be smart about it. Put something on top, put some weight, and leave it there to the side. Now let's work on the clouds, guys. So we can use the stencil as the template to create your clouds. Okay, so like I said, I brought white cardstock. This is the one I'm gonna see. This is the one that I used to actually create some projects you're gonna see this week on the YouTube channel. And I can create them small. I can create them large. You can freehand them, completely up to you. I just think that to follow already the cloud formations that we have on the background, the queen actually, I thought about adding like paper, but I didn't want to add more. Like, I don't want it to be so off the page. I want it to be more flush against the page. That's why I didn't add cardstock to the background. Trust me, I consider it. So I'm gonna use this to create my cloud. So it gives you an idea. So let's pick. Okay. Work it a little bit more. Okay, so just use your pencil to lightly form it. Remember, clouds are round, so just be smart with your stencil to give you the shape, and rotate it. Doesn't have to be perfect to be a cloud. Remember that. I would say be gentle with yourself. You don't have to be perfect. But it's gonna be an easy way that if you want to freehand it, go ahead and freehand it. Completely up to you. But I think this is an easier way to do it. You still have to use a ruler to cut it. So, I mean, a pair of scissors to cut it. So let me just kind of create this little circumference here. Okay, there we go. So let's use my scissors here. So just use the stencil to give you like the shape that you want to. And then we're not gonna need that many. I'm thinking that now that I put that much color on the background, I do want to keep my sky white. Like my clouds white. I was thinking about pattern paper, but I think it'll be too much because I don't want to cover the background. I already did the nice, clouds on the background. So I'm just gonna, and I don't want to make my clouds too big either. I want to keep them like, I'm gonna say medium. You can make them smaller if you want to. We might actually reduce them. I don't know. Again, I have the idea. I see it at night. I'm like, okay, it's doable in an hour. But now I'm just going ahead and using the template to create my cloud. So let's see. If it works. Okay. And of course, I trimmed quite a bit of the circumference here. Okay. So, okay, let's move it out of the way. Let's put this on here. So let's see. Do I need to make it a little bit fluffier? I think so. So, you know what? I thought about vellum clouds. And if you guys know, I love vellum. But when you put it here, then you're gonna see the rainbow at the back. And I don't wanna have that. So yeah, you can go ahead. You just need to define this a little bit more. So even though I use a stencil, I am actually gonna freehand some of it out. Okay, so makes sense. I just don't like this part here. I think it's too not fluffy. So I'm just making it fluffier. Is there such thing? I'm making my clouds fluffier. Okay. And I'm not even using like, detailing scissors. I'm using whatever scissors I found first when I looked at my bottle. Okay. This works for me. So let's bring the photos. Let's move the garbage to the side. You see? If I put vellum here, I might. No, not right now. See, I need another one here. I don't need much. I don't need much. That's why I said I'm, going to especially if I wanted to tack this, if I had vellum, then you will see the edge. And I really don't want to have that. I want it to be coming off the clouds. But then remember, my photo is going to sit on top of it. So vellum might work. So let's do another cloud. And then we just need two. I just want them here in this area where the pictures are going to sit so they're not floating in the air. So that's kind of my anchor point. That's what I'm creating the clouds here. I'm going to make this a little bit skinnier. and maybe a little bit smaller. So we'll see. Okay. So I'm just gonna play with the stencil to give me the shape that I'm looking for. Okay, so remember, even though I'm using the stencil, I am gonna cut, like I'm going to freehand some of it off. So I made it smaller. And you see, I don't throw scraps. I keep them. Like I said, I think I talked about it before. I use a hole punch and I actually create little circles out of whatever's left over of my negative pieces of foil paper. So then whenever I'm creating projects, because I do a lot of TN, like traveler's notebooks, you don't want to add that much dimension, but you want to have, you know, that sequence kind of gem look on your pages. So I easily just pull them. I have a little envelope with them and I glue them straight onto my page. So then I have my bling without that much dimension. So I don't waste my little pieces. Today they might go in the garbage just because I have quite a bit of an envelope already filled with them. But in case you want to, you know, lost connection. Laura, you know what you can do? Go onto the screen, hover over the bottom right corner or where your the image is coming from. Once you see it there, there's going to be a little gear that is going to come up. Click on the gear that is going to prompt you to set the video quality of this live feed. Go to auto or 720, and that should give you, like, you know, a better connection for your laptop. Because remember, I'm shooting this on HD. So if you do that, then it will be it will set it better for your computer. If you're working from the computer, or whatever you're using, it would just help you with setting it up that way. But like I said, hover over this, is that how he said, over the screen, and then you see a little gear. Click on it, and it's going to prompt you to fix the resolution of your of the feed. Go to auto, which will give you the best resolution for your video, for your computer setting. Or you can go to 720, which is the standard, and that should help you with, like, you know, the fuzziness or the blurriness and getting a clear image. Hope that helped. Okay, so how are we doing, guys? See my idea now? That's what you thought it's for? Yeah, well, in case, like, you know, I think a few of you guys know me from there. I work with Vicky, you know, so I'm usually what Heather's doing too right now, moderating. That's what I do with Vicky, especially when we do her live, Vicky Booten, I mean, when she does her live events, I am usually the one that's dealing with all the technical stuff on the background. So I'm kind of her virtual assistant. So I deal with a lot of, like, you know, resolutions and how to fix them. And we find that that's one of the ways that you can fix them is just go and check the gear situation, and that will solve a lot of your problems. Don't worry, Lori. Oh, you can always restart the feed. Okay. So there we go. We haven't, we're not covering that much of the clouds. I'm actually not going to add pattern paper behind my photos. Shocker, because I usually do, but I'm not, because I don't want to lose the background. Okay, so just so you see, you can stitch the clouds. Most certainly, like I said, this is perfect for a baby layout, but I think it's cute. I think, you know, you need a rainbow. So we have it there. Let's put our clues, let's put our clouds together. So we're gonna get some foam adhesive, because remember, this one's dimension, so we need to prop them up a little bit. And here is the only thing that you might need some extra glue, is because when you add mixed media to anything, it makes it a little bit slippery, like ink in this case. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some foam adhesive. I just want to make sure that my clouds are not, like, you know, buried, but I want them to be a little bit higher than the rainbow, so that it looks like the rainbow is coming off the cloud. Okay, so just, there we go. See, it's coming in my, better to do it this way. For some reason, either my fingers have, like, you know, buttery or whatever. There we go, and we're gonna add the other one. So you don't have to create lots of clouds. You don't have to make them super big. You can make them even smaller than this. The only reason why I'm using them in this layout is because I need stuff to anchor, like, you know, my photos to the page. And that's what it's gonna help. This is what it's gonna help me with. So, okay, I don't want, otherwise my picture is gonna be floating in there. And like I said, I don't want to add pattern paper, because I don't want to add much more. I don't want to take away from the rainbows or everything else. Let's clean it up so we have a clean surface. And there we go. Okay. Way here. So how we do it? Like I said, I'm just reading some of the comments. There we go. You don't have a mouse? Sorry, Lori. I'm trying to help you, like, best I can do in there. So I might actually tuck this one a little bit. I think it will look nice tucked there. The cloud has a little dent. Okay. Just making sure that I might need to move this a little bit higher. Just playing with the idea here. So right there. Okay, so there we go. And this one just moves a little bit higher automatically. There we go. So that's how they're going to sit. I'm actually going to use, again, foam adhesive behind it. But you know what? I'm going to give them a little bit. I want to make them sturdy. You're going to see how they're folded. So I'm going to glue them with a piece of cardstock. I just want to make sure that my photos don't bend when I put them down. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to cut pieces of cardstock here. Or this probably. How are we doing with time? Oh, we're doing almost done. Yeah, we're almost done. Don't worry. We're almost done, Heather. So, yeah. 3, 2.5. But the backgrounds. And then embellishment is going to be very, very expensive. Again. Yeah. See, we have some blue here. That's just going to make them a little bit sturdier. So they don't bend as much. I don't know why my photos are bending that much today. Okay. We have them. I'm going to put them right in place there. So foam adhesive, foam adhesive. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. I had a squish again. The ink makes it really slippery on my paper. I don't know why. It's happened before to me too. So I think it's the ink is just with the surface that is working. Okay. So let's put it there. Tuck it in place. There we go. Okay. I'll secure it more after once out of the camera. So this one's going to sit right there a little bit higher. There we go. Super simple. Again, if you do it, this will be perfect with a baby layout. We're going to add some florals. Of course, we're going to add florals because flowers make everything better. Yeah. So here we go. We have our pictures. There we go. Now it's all about embellishing. So let's start. Add some of these flowers. Yeah. And I'm not gonna overdo it with the flowers either, okay? Because like I said, but I thought that I will add a few just to, line it up a bit more. So this is gonna sit right there. Okay, I'm just looking at the image right now. I'm looking at, even though I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the camera, like I'm looking at the video to make sure that, like I said, sometimes I put things down, but when I look up and then I look in the camera, then I know if it looks fine or not. I just want to add some down here, not all over the page. Okay. I'm thinking that maybe I move this down here. I like that better because it matches the orange that is on the background right there. Yep. So, executive decision. Right there. So that means we'll move this one down here. We're going to put it behind the photo right there. Foam adhesive. Okay. And then I might bring this one a little bit there. Yep. So. Yep. After all that we need this, we're going to take this away. That's all the florals you're going to need. I don't think you want to add much more. I am thinking that my title might actually go up here. I was thinking down here, but I think it's too, I think I have more space up here. But I do have the chipboard flare. And the reasons why I liked it, because I found this one. I thought this one was perfect for this. So this is gonna go and sit maybe, okay, let's not move it. Let's not put it for now. Let's work on the title first. So I had, there we go. So for the embellishment, it's gonna pretty much be very simple. So don't worry about it. There's already a lot going on. So I thought there was, okay, so I have time. Because it has that gold. You don't have anything gold. You want something that is gonna pop from your page. So we're gonna put, time from here. And then we're gonna bring the gold puffy alpha. You want to make sure that your title pops different from the page. So that's why I'm using the gold alphas. And this is the ephemera from the Happy Heart collection. And there's a pack full of ephemera, so it's perfect for this. Let me just get a ruler to make sure that I put this properly. Again, foam adhesive because, dimension is going to look nicely here. So around a 1 inch here. And then the letters, let's put the word naps. Okay, where's the N? Oh my God. Okay, oh, is the U become the N? Have I not used it? Here again, oh my God, I'm so blind. Don't mind me, I'm blind. Okay, N, there's the A. Nap. Okay, and then we need a P, and we're almost done. So I know you guys can go ahead, and if you're creating this, you have time to create again and enjoy your weekend. So like I said, I'm going to show you how we're going to finish the embellishments and then time. Okay, I might have to take out the little piece of the center. Where's my little? Yeah, there we go. Does it read as a P? For me, it reads as a P, but I think I might need to move this a little bit more, or actually, I'm going to move it to the side here. Okay, much better. I'm thinking that it might need a floral there, or actually, it's this. Yeah, that's why, like I said, one of the reasons why I went into the chipboard fair, because I found this and I was like, oh, perfect. So that's going to be my title. Now, because I added that there, I'm going to have to repeat it down here too. So, copy stickers here. So here they said hanging out with friends. And I was like, oh, perfect with the dog. So right there. Okay. And then we're going to need another one that is going to be over here on this side. Remember, there's pink here. I'm on the blue side. That's why I put the pink one over here. I'm on the blue side over here. So I was thinking maybe the self-care over here. So I'm color blocking a little bit, not like, ton. We use these two. So I'm just going to go ahead and just add more embellishments here. So I'm going to show you more on the chipboard stickers. Like I said, everything that I'm using, I added it on the description so you can see everything there. So I think I need something a little bit on the orange side just because I'm here. So I'm just going to start adding some embellishments. I can't even pronounce the word. My God. I might have to go on the other part because I'm in the little blue and the little green space here. So there we go. And then all the good things. So I'm just adding, see, we're going to make it think that is, we're going to make it work there. So there we go. And then I'm going to add a few more stickers. I'm not going to overdo it. Like I said, not much more. I might need to add a floral up here just because it's a little bit on the naked side up there. I might add a butterfly actually. So I'll have to pull that I'll pull that out after. Don't worry, it's going to be a butterfly up there. And then lines of journal are going to be down here. And then to finish, remember guys, we only have an hour to work on this. Okay. And then to finish, we are going to add bling. Okay. So here's where your color coordination is going to come in handy. I'm going to use the gems this time around. I wanted something that followed the rainbow tone. Okay. So some pink. This is pink. Yeah. So I'm going to add just a few around here. Just going to scatter them. Not too much. Okay, so I have some of this orangey one. And I'm gonna just kind of follow a little bit more. And I'm gonna set them in place where they're gonna go, and then I'm gonna glue them after we finish the live, but just so you have an idea where I'm gonna add them. Okay, so I have some purple, and I'm gonna go for the small and the small and medium because they come in different sizes. So I'm just trying to find them. So you have an idea, and then I might add some yellow down here or some of the green, and I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Okay, so I have some green right here. I have some of this teal one. So let's see. Remember, perfect. I think around there. So that's how it's gonna go. Same over here. And I am done. I'm gonna add a flower up there. So just you know. And that's, I think, what about it. Like I said, I'm gonna finish adding the bling after the live because we're already over time, one, and the second one because it's gonna take me a while to just set everything in place. I'm not gonna add any more to the pictures because I don't wanna hide the background. I don't wanna hide the photos. So that's all it's gonna take in the middle. I am gonna add maybe a floral up here just to tie it to my layout. And there's gonna be some bling up here too, lines of journal at the bottom, but that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy this. Like seriously, I had fun creating this, even though it took me a little while to create the flowers. So I'm gonna flip the camera while Heather picks a winner and I can see you guys and you can see me. So let me rotate the camera. Remember how I did before? Okay, let me see. Okay, my mouse here. Going to flip in the camera. Oh, I can see it. I can see myself. Okay. Hi, guys. And then again, I'm shiny. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for joining me. I am sure that Heather's going to pick a winner. I'm going to flash you again to the project so you see it one more time before. Again, like I said, I am going to add more now that I'm looking at it without critical eyes. Congratulations, Liz Reeves. You won the gift certificate to the shop. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to add a flower to the title. I'm going to add more sequin to the arches following the color combo. And then I'm going to add my lines to journal under the picture. I don't want to add much more because I don't want to take away from the background. So I'm going to flip again the camera now that you see it one last time. And then I'll add the pictures. Of course, I'll share them so you see them. Oh, perfect. Shiny again. White hair, but it's okay. Thank you so much. Again, like I said, there's ways that you can create this easily. And that is if you don't want to go through all the cutting of the paper, because it did take some time, use the negative pieces of your die cuts and then just add some ink and color them that way. Let's turn off this light so it'll probably be less shiny. And then use the stencil to create your clouds. So you can freehand them if you're that, if you are very, what do you call it, artistic. I am not that artistic. So I use the stencil to help me. And thank you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I will come back to check on everything. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, tomorrow Jeff will be live with Jen Shirkus. So it should be a fun, live session, and we can create a card while she, they show it. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Heather, for helping. Like I said, everything that I used, this link in the comment section, you can find it, and everything is available at the shop. So we make sure that, everything is available before we go live. Thank you so much. Thank you, Heather. And have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you. I think I'll see you back in 2 weeks if everything, and God permits. So take care, guys.